Broncos country, what is up? It is the Kodiak Broncos Podcast, and we just signed Evan Engram to a 2-year, $24 million deal worth $60 million guaranteed. And here are some reasons why I absolutely love that move. Perfect move to make when you're a team that's in a contention window, a Super Bowl window that's going to open up, this offseason as we are. But I'm just here to talk about some things that I absolutely love about the signing. So, yeah, it goes without saying. So, we probably had the worst tight end room in the league this past year. Troutman, Adkins, Kroll, Burton, and Dulcich, who ended up getting cut and is now on the Giants and still couldn't find his way onto the field at the end of the season. That was probably the worst tight end room in the NFL by a long shot last year. When I think about other trash tight end rooms, I think about Indianapolis. And honestly, I think Mo Alley-Cox may have been better than anything we had. I mean, was he even on the Colts last year? I can't remember. I haven't really thought about him in a long time. But either way, so with Evan Engram, it just goes without saying that he is going to be the best tight end that we've had on our team since Julius Thomas. We got some nice play from Noah Fant, but overall ended up being overdrafted. And, first-round tight end hit rate is usually not that good. So, unfortunately, Fant, we couldn't reap the rewards of that first-round pick. And even if we did, he was on the Seattle Seahawks, so after 3 years. So I would call that kind of a wasted pick. But either way, there's been no other guy that I'm just like, wow, I'm really happy with your tight end play. I mean, maybe Owen Daniels because he caught those 2 awesome touchdowns in the 2015 AFC Championship. Other than that, what we've gotten from our tight end position has been a huge nothing burger. It's just been all potential and guys that never came to fruition, like Jeff Hireman, like Jake Butt, like Albert Okwuegbunam. There's a few guys I'm missing in there as well. And with Evan Engram, 51% of his receptions in the NFL have gone for either first downs or touchdowns, and he has caught 70% of the passes thrown his way through his NFL career, which is very impressive as well, considering that he was playing with the Giants for 5 years. So one thing that he will also help us with is he will help us be a more efficient drive-sustaining team. We had the second highest 3-and-out percentage in December of 2024. Now, I know that that's only a 4-game span, but considering that was the playoff push, not good. Not good at all. I wish I had the numbers for how often we went 3-and-out throughout the entire year, but I can guarantee that it's not that much different from being the second worst team in the league, which we were in December of 2024 when it came to going 3-and-out. And also, we had 0 intermediate passing game, which also affected the run game. It's all a domino effect. It's all a domino effect as to, what we can do, what we can't do. So, yeah, that really will be fixed by Evan Engram because now teams actually have to respect a middle-of-the-field weapon. Now teams will actually have to respect a big slot, a real weapon from the tight end position as well. It's all a domino effect that will just help us be a much better offense than we were this past year. And our offense, I would say, was pretty good this past year. I wouldn't say it was great, but there were just clear holes. There were things that needed to be upgraded, like the pass catching from the tight end room, the run game in general. And Evan Engram is going to help us in both regards, not because he's like a fantastic blocker or anything like that, but just because of the fact that teams now have to respect us over the middle of the field, that's going to do wonders for Bo Nix as well. So second, it just proves that we're a desirable destination again, okay? Not that we didn't already know that. We knew that, we have the richest ownership group in the NFL. We know that we have a young quarterback. We know that we have a Super Bowl winning head coach that, media will try to tell you that players hate. But, from everything I've seen about all the Saints players that have come here, exact opposite. So we are now a solid destination spot again. So kudos to you, Sean Payton and George Payton, for seeing this through and making us a solid destination team again. And guess what? We don't have to pay the Jaguars tax anymore. So there's no pun intended. It's not specific to Evan Engram, but there's been a theory of the Jaguars tax that's spread throughout the internet over the past 2 years, and I think it's absolutely hilarious because it reminisces of the Jaguars in mid-2010s free agency that had to overpay free agents, bad teams, mid-teams that have to overpay free agents. And I think about the Jaguars back in free agency because they spent over $1 billion in the past decade or whatever it was because they had to lure teams, even though they went 5-11 every year when the NFL still had a 16-game season. And then we think about teams like the 2021 Patriots. There's just so many times where teams really hit the gas pedal in free agency. And one thing that really confuses me is that George Payton said that we are going to be very conservative this free agency cycle. So if this is being conservative, what is it going to look like next year when we have $112 million in cap space? But either way, getting Dre Greenlaw also proves this. I was actually pretty concerned that he was potentially going to go to Houston, and there were plenty of reasons to go there, especially because their pass rush, absolutely filthy. It came to light during the playoff game where they dropped Herbert a handful of times, and the Chargers' interior offensive line just could not handle, Will Anderson and a bunch of other dudes that were on that pass rush. So well done, Houston, for first of all beating the Chargers in the playoff game. But DeMeco Ryans had been Dre Greenlaw's defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and I was pretty concerned that he was going to go back there again. So also, one of the coolest things about this whole saga is that Evan Engram chose the Broncos, even though the Chargers had offered him pretty much the exact same deal. It's just absolutely hilarious. It's hilarious that he met with us first, wanted to see what it was like in LA with a theoretically better team, and he chose us. He chose Bo Nix over Justin Herbert. He chose the Denver Broncos over the Los Angeles Chargers. So yeah. Number 3, it does not deter us from significant tight end investment. Okay, you could say it locks us out of Colston Loveland. You could say it locks us out of, potentially taking a shot on a first-round tight end. And maybe, but I don't entirely disagree. But second-round tight end, third-round tight end is very much still in play for the Denver Broncos. And Evan Engram is not a long-term solution. He's not a long-term franchise tight end. Granted, great short-term upgrade. But, tight end early in the draft is still very much in play, especially because Evan Engram is now here, and if a rookie tight end we're bringing in takes a few seconds, or not even seconds, but games to learn the playbook, takes a few games to, really understand what Sean Payton's looking for in his tight end, and takes a while to earn his way onto the field, then we have a lot of leeway with Evan Engram there as well. And honestly, with our last tight end spot, we can let the last spot in training camp be fought for by a bunch of random tight ends, whether it's Kroll, whether it's Lil Jordan Humphrey, whether it's some random UDFA that gets a lot of buzz from Cecil Lammey or whatever. We can let our third tight end spot be fought for. I feel like guys like Kroll, like Burton, like Adkins, they just kind of were put on the 53-man roster and they didn't have to earn anything. So if we get friendly competition going for that final spot, that'd be absolutely fantastic as well. So yeah, that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think of the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Mile high salute.